An MVP's back in practice. A former friend is now turned foe. And just how much attention do you pay to your boss when he's talking? It's October 23rd. It's Martin and Monaco. Alex, Lamar Jackson is back at practice, and the attitude in Baltimore is businesslike. They've removed the ping pong tables, they've removed the air hockey tables, and they've removed Cooper Rush from the starting lineup and put a former MVP right back in there, Lamar Jackson. The caveat, they're 1-5, looking up at the rest of the AFC North. How are you, and how do you think the Ravens are doing right now?
I'm doing well, boys. Appreciate always jamming with you. I don't know. I look, I'm not gonna write off the Ravens right now. If you look, I'm always studying the lines. They're about plus 112, depending on where you shop, to make the playoffs. They're second in the AFC North to win the North. So to me, I think it's just kind of brick by brick. They're getting healthier. I mean, look, they're laying 6.5 against a Bears team that's won four straight against the spread. That's got to tell you they're getting healthier on both sides of the ball. I mean, they were decimated with injuries. It's a question of during the off week, was togetherness brought? I mean, I think ping pong tables might have helped, to be honest. But, in all seriousness, they got to get their star quarterback back. This is about belief. And I think Harbaugh is a guy that can bring them together, but we'll see. I mean, that line is telling, though, that they should get right against Chicago.
The question I have for you is, how do you feel about the Buffalo Bills? I swear I have a point.
If they can't stop the run, and McDermott, who drives me ballistic, and I'm not even a Bills fan, I think we're in serious trouble here. As far as like backing them, look, they should beat the brakes off of Andy Dalton and the Panthers.
Sure.
If they don't, what are we looking at here? I mean, their defense is lethargic, and we're back to the conversation we were before Diggs, before Cooper. Kincaid goes down. They look like they got no weapons. I mean, they were almost trying to not pay James Cook. They don't have anybody. Keon Coleman's a wide receiver 3 on 13 teams.
I asked you that because with like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I think it was week 1 or week 2, it was 40-24 Ravens to Bills. And Josh Allen and that Buffalo offense that you just said's got nobody on it. They didn't even want to pay James Cook. Keon Coleman's a wide receiver 3. Walked
it's a great impression of me.
Baltimore defense all the way down, scored 40-something points on it to go ahead and win that game. Lamar Jackson is one of the best players in the NFL. If you're listing 10 of the best players in the NFL, you will not get to 10 before you say Lamar Jackson's name. However, he is one man, and we've seen all types of things happen with Shohei Ohtani and Wembanyama in this last week. But if Lamar Jackson can play both starting quarterback and starting cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens, then you could tell me that this team's not done. I'm writing them off. I don't see the Ravens I don't see the Ravens being a true contender. Can they make the wild card? Yes. But in terms of being a true contender, I don't see it in the AFC this year for them. Their defense is too bad.
Here's one for you. I mean, we'll talk it out in a second, but AFC, NFC is a real thing here, and NFC's been dominating the AFC. And if we're taking a look, you got Chicago, then you got the bad luck Ace Ventura Dolphins. Then you got Minnesota. It could still be Wentz. Then it's the Browns. Then it's the Jets. Then it's the Bengals. I don't know how you can write them off. I mean, honestly, they dropped games they shouldn't have dropped, but let's just take a step back. They had to play Kansas City. They had to play Buffalo. It was a terrible timing hosting the Texans as Lamar goes out. I mean, the only thing I'll say, Martin, is 17-3 against the Rams. That's a winning game for this club if they had Lamar. Is that not sort of telling they stopped the high-octane offense and held them at just 17? I would not write them off, my man. I think this is a sick start to the NFL season. We're going to see a lot of flip-flopping in the second half. As Belichick has famously said, the season starts after Thanksgiving.
I am writing to the same place that they wrote Geno Smith to, so maybe they won't write back, right? But I'm writing them off. It sounded like Woody Johnson is writing off Justin Fields and the New York Jets. The thing is, though, I'm not sure if Justin Fields or Aaron Glenn's aware of it. This is my question, and I know you're there, and it's a lot closer to you at the Jets and all of it.
Yeah.
But if I was a reporter in that scrum with Justin Fields or in that press conference with Aaron Glenn, I would say, Do you have to be on social media to hear what your boss said? Like, oh,
You'd
you
hope
stay off
not.
social media, so you didn't hear what Woody Johnson had to say. He's the guy that signs the checks that you cash. Do you only get that information from Twitter?
That's a fair question. Look, Ian might have to hop in here. We got a QB change. We got Jets conversation. Look, Woody talks sparingly. And last time he talked, it was after an international loss, and you saw what happened with Salah. I think this might be different, though. I'm sitting here going, if Tyrod Taylor was jamming, and I'm not blaming Fields per se, but Tyrod Taylor's a veteran. This is a great, in the betting world, buy low, sell high spot. This is a perfect time to not give up on the Jets. I do have something here for you, which is outrageous, but they haven't lost many games by 2 scores, 6.5 point line off a trap game in Cincy and Pittsburgh last week. I think they might be able to steal one. Again, this team is worse on paper than they are, or worse in the standings than they are on
Yep.
paper. I mean, Ian, you got anything for us on this Woody Johnson comment? I mean, guys,
I've given up. I've given up on the Jets this season. It's real, and that's not even me being like defeatist. Like it's just they haven't won a game, and I don't see until they do. I'm not going to pick them to win one. But on the Woody Johnson stuff, like if you need an explanation for why this franchise has been where they are for as long as they've been, he just gave you the exact. He just showed everyone exactly why. Like he walked in to the hotel, to the owner's meeting, said, I don't really have much to say. And then he proceeded to talk for like 10 minutes of just blasting Justin Fields. And it's just like, you don't need to do that. Is he wrong? No, but you don't need to do that, especially as the owner of the team. So I don't feel for Justin Fields here. I think like he's made his bed here. He's not playing well enough, and he knew what he signed up for in the New York market. But man, if you just needed the perfect example of why the Jets are the Jets, the owner, it starts at the top, and he just showed you exactly why. Latest example.
I just wanted to know if when they asked, when you can't have a quarterback with a rating like that, no one followed up and asked the Madden rating or passer rating. Nobody was.
I don't think he meant anything. He just meant he's bad. Like Woody Johnson isn't smart enough to have an exact rating in mind that he was thinking, at least football smart enough. I'm sure he's a smart enough human being, but like it's just his quarterback rating. Like whether he meant his ranking in the league, whether he meant his actual QBR, whatever he meant, he just meant he sucks. And that's the point he was trying to get across.
I do think that we'll see Tyrod Taylor and this Jets offense take a little bit of a step forward. If for no other reason, Tyrod has so much more experience in the NFL and running more NFL offenses, was a starter in this league for playoff teams in the past. And I think that you can only run one real type of offense with Justin Fields, and the Jets refuse to run that offense with him. If they were running more of like a read option, let's have him 1-2 read, put your foot in the ground and run, go, it could
yeah.
happen. They're not doing it. I don't know why you
Can,
bid on Justin Fields and not do that, but that's what the Jets are doing.
can
But
I
it's
give you
never, yeah.
let me give you real quick a late stump the Schwab blind old school shout out your boss Martin blind resume here to put a button on the Jets. One team, these are two teams. One team is negative 78 in point differential and they have 3 wins, and the other team is winless and they have a point differential of minus 54. And obviously one of them's the Jets, which is the second team. Who is that team that has 3 wins that is worse than the Jets on paper? Because again, I do think objects in mirror are not as they appear. This is situational losses and not a blow up the roster on both sides scenario.
The 3-win team, is that the
That's
Minnesota
negative
Vikings?
78 in the point differential. They've given up 78 more points than they've scored.
Oh, the Atlanta Falcons.
It's the Cincinnati Bengals, gentlemen.
All right.
And they are playing against each other. I'm just saying, if the Jets win with Tyrod, can they maybe at least momentum-wise rattle off a little bit here? I mean, to put a button on it, Ian, no shot.
Could they win this game? That intrigues me. Maybe this is the game that they pull out, but again, I just can't pick them until they actually do it. And then beyond this game, no, I don't think they're going to rattle off any wins. I just don't think this team
So
is
we got to
capable
put
of
our
that from what I've
producer's
seen to
face.
this point.
We got to put our producer's face as the photoshopped in with the kid who got stopped and said, "I hate this team." Is that what we're? Is that
Yeah,
where we're at?
exactly. That was
All
so
right.
sad to look at,
All
and
right.
he's
Let's
all of
come
us.
back next week. My bold prediction is that this team wins outright.
So to that point, I've made that bold prediction the last couple of weeks, and it's gotten underlined and italicized instead of just being bold. Uh, you, one of my favorite tweets about sports is men decide to let decisions they make at 7 years old impact their entire lives. And like that Jets fan who's like, he's like 9. He has all his life to live. And he has already decided I'm living and dying right here with Gang Green. And so this is probably an odd feeling for a lot of Packers fans as they watch Aaron Rodgers take on their team. All of, like, you know how many dogs are named Rodgers in the state of Wisconsin? A ton. You know what I mean? It's like, just think about it. I think about that all the time. There's so many dogs named 12 or Rodgers or Aaron because that was their favorite player of all time. And then off of 2 MVP seasons and an 8-9 campaign following the last 3 years in Green Bay, he bounces around and will finally play the team that drafted him, where he spent 18 years of his life. He's what he said today, or said it this week in Pittsburgh press conferences with a smile on his face, and it seemed memorable. Something tells me, though, Alex, Rodgers will not be smiling when there's 15 minutes on the clock, first quarter, and it's time for him to take the field.
So you don't like this spot. You don't like him being one of the few guys to win against all 32 teams.
Oh, no, 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 no. You misunderstood me. I said he won't be smiling. I said he won't be smiling because the steel-faced, reserved look on his eyes, he is going to be. Aaron Rodgers is a stone cold killer, especially when the time calls for it. You saw him against the Jets, 4 touchdowns. They lost the game, but he's like, listen, I only got so many more of these in me. I'm going all I can. I love the Steelers this week.
I love him too, man. I mean, this is that bounce back spot. This is the Tomlin, obviously. Look, Tomlin on Thursday night, period, let alone Thursday night as a divisional dude given points. That was a trap bet on the road, no question. Extra time to prep
This
versus
is the exact opposite.
Come on, man, versus the X. This could be a Super Bowl preview. Honestly, this could be a Super Bowl preview. I mean, if we're talking football god Super Bowl, gentlemen, is this not the matchup? Swan Song versus old team, 2 top 5 historic franchises. I mean, talk about the Hollywood poster right now.
I always say this, the script writers would really love that one, but I would just suggest with the news of the day, maybe you want to chill out with the script writing. Might want to let it play out on the up and up. That's all I'll say, because the feds are doing sweeps.
That's fair.
No, but it would be a great matchup and one that would be awesome for, especially just me personally. I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm more of a Tomlin fan. More, I just don't like the way that people talk about Tomlin like he's an idiot for going 500. Like, the idiots are the people who don't go 500. You know what I'm saying? And I think Tomlin's a hell of a ball coach, and he's found a way to win football games that'll win you about 66% of the games. And that's not necessarily going to get but it's hard to go broke taking a profit, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you found a betting strategy that won you 66% of your bets, you'd bet every single day. You'd have no issue with it.
Speaking of that, I got a 72% stat for you. When Tomlin's defenses give up 30 plus the following week, they're 29, 12, and 1 against the spread, and they're getting 3. So 71% trend right there. Oh, by the way, Jordan Love on the road, 0-6 when his team scores fewer than 20. This is setting up for a big-time lay-an-egg Packers bounce-back Steelers. But I like where you're at with the Rodgers thing.
And here's the other thing. Okay, so last week, Joe Flacco goes to Pittsburgh and throws a party, right? Or Pittsburgh goes to Cincinnati, Flacco throws a party, right? I understand that one, though. We saw Tomlin scared of Flacco, first of all last week. And we know if there's any player in the NFL, literally, who has the most experience with Mike Tomlin and his defense, it's Joe Flacco, who currently in the league. I don't see any of that. I think Jordan Love is the most roller coaster player that we have right now since Josh Allen figured it out. And people just talk about him like he is signed, sealed, and delivered solid. I think we could see he's in for a stinker.
I think he could be, man. I mean, it's the jury's still out as far as is he a quarterback you can win a championship with. I mean, he's a very obviously serviceable quarterback with winning games, but this is just a well-run, well-balanced infrastructure. I mean, they have a solid roster. They don't have a lot of holes. They don't have any star-studded wide receivers. But I mean, Jordan Love. I mean, so if you're looking right now at the chalk in the NFC North, are you saying that still Lions are the team to beat, not the Bears, not the Packers?
You got to show you the Lions to me in the regular season are still the team to beat, especially after they went with no safety help, Branch suspended, Joseph out, and held. I know Mike Evans ended up getting hurt, but held that Buccaneers offense to 9 points. Like
That's fair.
that matters. That means something.